Morning, fellow zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? I sure as hell ain't. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I was trying to read something on my phone. Time index right now is 8:10 in the morning, West Coast time. It is Thursday, the 13th of March, 2025. The zombie Weaver, John C. Roseman, California. It is here. And because of that, I'm without medications of any sort, so I'm doing and I'm surviving. How about that one? And I don't need ketamine to screw over my damn brain cells like old Musk face. I'm discovering through research here, Psychology Today report that I just dug up. Now, I know that the guys in Independence are having a field day over this. They are. They are. I'll make fun of the damn thing, but the one thing I noticed they never do is give out facts. They do snarky remarks. And the problem is, this stuff, ketamine, that he's on. They keep talking about ketamine, but they never talk about what it is. Don't they ever bother to do any frickin' research? All you lousy independent so-called journalists out there? Slap you upside the head of it, good. Takes a college student going through community college to upstage and upstart you. This article was written in, got published earlier this morning. Elon Musk and ketamine, a dose of science in Psychology Today. So, as the article goes, in recent years, discussions regarding celebrity lifestyles have increasingly included claims of drug use and unconventional health practices. Among the scrutinized is Elon Musk. Recent reports, including a CNN interview with Don Lemon and an analysis by the Wall Street Journal, have spotlighted Musk's self-reported use of ketamine and other substances. He's a fucking drug user. He's a drug abuser. He's a druggie. He's a stoner. No, I can't say he's stoned out unless he's doing marijuana maintenance all the damn time. So, the author of the article, which was done by Shirley Mueller, MD, the mind of a collector, she puts her, I don't know. It was also reviewed by an Abigail Fagan. Updated March 13th, 2025, so it's pretty recent. Pretty recent. I'm just getting a PDF file because I want this article. I need this article. It's not an addiction. It's not psychological. It's informative. It's necessary. Deal with it. All right. Medical applications for ketamine. Back in the 1960s, it was used as an dissociative, words again. Anesthetic. Over the past 2 decades, has emerged as a groundbreaking treatment for refractory depression and suicidal ideation, particularly in patients who do not respond to conventional depressants. Which means if the damn drugs the first time don't work, here's the stronger stuff to screw you over. It gets worse. Rapid antidepressant, lubrication. Tang and Gatorade and water. The rapid antidepressant effects of ketamine have been documented in several clinical studies. Let's see, for example, research by Zerate and colleagues demonstrated significant improvements in mood within hours of administration in patients with treatment-resistant depression. Meaning that the drugs that the patients are using aren't working in their damn brain stems. They tried harder, stronger, different stuff. Subsequent studies and systematic reviews have reinforced these findings, suggesting that ketamine's effect, though often transient, flighty, aren't they, may offer a crucial therapeutic window for intervention in severe depressive episodes. I keep asking myself, was this guy born depressed? Was there some kind of major event or consistent string of events that pushed this guy to the point where he's just totally out of it? That he's got to be depending upon drugs on a constant basis? Gets worse. Gets worse. Beyond depression, and I'm only reading the first 2 or 3 paragraphs in this monster, okay? I'll post a link. Beyond depression, ketamine is also used for pain management and as an adjunct in anesthesia. Its dissociative properties have made it particularly valuable in emergency settings where rapid sedation and analgesia, analgesic anyway, can be life-saving. However, these benefits are not without risk. Potential side effects of ketamine include dissociative experiences that may lead to confusion or impaired motor coordination, cognitive disturbances, and with repeated misuse, the risk of developing a substance use disorder. These risks underscore the importance of administering ketamine in a controlled clinical setting. Meaning, he's a drug user. And he's screwing over the United States government and everybody else, and he don't care. He had talked about articles concerning about empathy. There's empathy suicide. Empathy suicide happening in the world. There's empathy suicide everywhere. Oh my God, we're empathetic suicide. What do you mean by empathetic suicide? According to National Institution of Health, behavior empathy failures and suicide behavior, according to an article. I'll get this one going too. But this is from the National Library of the National Institution for Health. Library of Medicine, okay. It's an author of a book, actually a paper titled Behavioral Empathy Failures and Suicide Behavior. I'm just reading the abstract here. The full one, well, if I actually had full access to the library, I'd get more notes in the damn thing. The abstract is impaired decision making has recently gained recognition as a component of the suicidal diagnosis, whatever the fuck that is. Yet, although participants, in particular deterrents to suicidal behavior, are often interpersonal, little is known about social decision making in suicidal individuals. The study employed a novel version of the ultimatum game to investigate how empathy moderates responses to social conflict. Oh my God, they got technical in this one. Ouch. Yeah, hold on to it anyway. Still use it. Okay, how about mentalhealth.va.gov? I'll try that one. I'll put that link in there too. Ooh, PDF file. Ooh. I had to save this one. I'm so giddy. Okay. Empathy integral to working with patients at risk for suicide, from science to practice, using research to promote safety and prevent suicide. And this is from the VA hospital concerning back suicide prevention. Much research has been conducted to examine suicides through the risk of lenses and protective factors based on the premise that people with certain traits, people who have engaged in certain behaviors, or people who are subject to stressful or traumatic events may be more prone to suicidal ideation. and behavior. For example, people perceive themselves as lonely or social isolated are increased risk for suicide, while people who have close personal relationships with family and friends and derive satisfaction from these relationships may be decreased risk for suicide. What I'm looking for is the crap that he has thrown out concerning about empathy. I wanted to get the bases over here so I can get it down, so I can put it into my, so I can put it out there somehow. I wanted to find out what the hell he's talking about. In order, if you're going down that path of suicide, there had to be a hell of a long decisions made, or experiences happened, something that forced a pathway down there. Now, I talk about mine. I talk about mine on a great deal. I had thoughts of suicide. I wanted to kill myself a long time ago. There may have been a few times I still wanted to kill myself afterwards, but no. I talk about with the therapist. But the thing is, when I'm trying to find out, what the hell is this guy calling a suicide empathy? ResearchGate. Okay, this is the peer review crap. They're trying to verify if I'm human or not. Well, last time I checked, I'm a zombie, so I don't qualify. I'm not a machine, so I don't have any mechanisms on me. I'm just a zombie and not alive and not awake and pissed off. Alright, enough of that one. Yeah, I have been to depression states where I'm not willing to do anything and everything. And to the point where I'm going to be turning into a manic depressive. But I know doctors have drugs for this kind of stuff, and I shun it! Keep it away. My brain's already screwed up right now. My metabolism's already messed up. Why the hell would I want that crap? Suicidal empathy. Danger of compassion without limits. If I am part of the ResearchGate, I can do the full text on this one. So I will just put the link in for this little doodad here. If you're signed in with them, good. But the abstract is: this essay critically examines the concept of suicide empathy, a term used by scholar Gayad Syed, who the hell he is, to describe excessive compassion that undermines social cohesion, values, and security. Drawing from philosophy, psychology, and sociology, the essay explores how unbalanced empathy can lead to unintended consequences, such as destabilizing social systems, eroding trust, and fostering resentment among insiders. My God, he's paraphrasing. Musk had been on Joe Rogan on a podcast. And some of the words he was talking about is coming from this damn abstract. Son of a bitch. He's played the people for this shit. Oh, yeah, I'm pissed. Oh, I'm pissed. Discussion begins with a definition of suicidal empathy, contrasting it with reasoned compassion that considers long-term social impacts. Societal impacts. They get wordy, don't they? They don't ever say it like what it is. Discussion begins with the definition of suicidal empath, contrasting it with reasoned compassion and long-term. I can't write that one. Psychological perspectives are then examined, highlighting the risks of, quote, empathetic distress, unquote, where unchecked compassion overwhelms rational decision making. This section also discusses how empathy can conflict with justice, create identity threats, and lead to moral licensing, where compassion justifies harmful actions. Philosophical insights are explored through Nietzsche's critique of pity, Levinas' or Levin's evaluation of empathy as a moral imperative, and Arendt's warnings against uncritical compassion. Together, these perspectives underscore the need to balance empathy with critical thinking and accountability. Ooh. Balance it with critical thinking and accountability. Elon Musk and Trump, are you fucking kidding me? This essay also delves into societal analysis, discussing Durkheim's concept of anomie, or whatever the hell it is. Putin's research on social capital, and Boudreau's theory of symbolic violence. These frameworks eliminate how empathy, if misspelled, or actually misapplied, I get my eyes checked, can erode social cohesion and foster divisions. Concluding with a call for balanced empathy, the essay argues that compassion must be bounded by reason, justice, and long-term thinking to avoid its potential pitfalls. It advocates for a framework of empathy with accountability. Musk, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Ensuring that compassionate actions align with societal stability and collective well-being. The balanced approach preserves empathy as a force for unity and progress while mitigating its risks. You know what? I think it's full of shit. It reminds me of having bullies get away with too much crap as it is. Compassionate empathy while you're beating the shit out of the guy. See, it's your fault that I'm hitting you. Don't you understand? It's all your fault. I had to do this because I'm compassionate. I have empathy. And I need to beat the shit out of you because I don't know why, but you do need it. So, come on, you gotta do this for me. Is that how it is? Oh my god, we're dealing with fucking dummies. Oh yeah, throw in the word salad of all these people over here to reason out how to be a fucking bully. Yes, I go to school. Yes, I am doing this because I need to understand. But this shit that we're dealing with right now, this stuff, this is peer review bullshit. They got peer review stuff on here that I don't get what they're talking about. That pathetic suicide. Societal suicide. Okay, how will I understand suicide? Let me talk about my issue at this point. This is going to be a long-ass video, so try to keep it short. Not succinct, but short. Okay, a lot of things had happened to me that probably had put me into a depressional state, starting with open heart surgery at the age of 4 years old. You die 3 times, come back to life 3 times. Experiencing an afterlife experience, in and out of the body is shocking enough as it is. Going to the afterlife and back again. It does something to a person's personality. At least to mine anyway. I didn't know how to think, feel, or react to the damn thing. And every time I kept trying to talk to a theologian about it, referred back to a book, refer back to a book, refer back to a book. If I happen to talk to a doctor about it, it says, come on, big boys, don't cry. No, they just go fucking nuts. And depressed and hidden. I hid from a lot of things. I hid socially. Give me a book, I'll hide. I liked reading. I liked reading about other things, other places beyond me, beyond what was going on. I read a World War II fiction book. cussing was great good form in that book called Whip. Book about B-29s modified with machine guns in their faces, blowing the hell away out of enemy territory. And how the modifieds were used to win a war, or help win a war anyway. I read about science fiction. I read about science books. I read material that got me away from my reality. Ma introduced me to Lego a long time ago. Keep me quiet, maybe. Keep my mind working and thinking, imagining. But making me more social awkward as hell. More social awkward as hell. Yeah, I can show people about my damn Lego creations, but I don't know how and why I was a magnet for people who are also disassociative in a way. That here's a guy who understands about how being a silent person on some occasions and just doesn't participate as much. It took a long while for teachers and teachers and instructors try to get to my head. But nowhere at any time did they actually put me through psychological testing. Except maybe an uncle at one time, at the age of 11 or 12, and thought it was normal, maybe. Maybe he was going through the same damn shit anyway through his own PTSD, his own war shit that he was trying to equate and relate. But I didn't go through a war. Hell, I went through accidents, damn near killed me. Should have. I stayed the hell away from people left and right. And I grew up not knowing how to deal with people on a correct basis. I looked at television shows as a way of how to deal with other people, and I associated myself that way. One time going to a Trek convention, I managed to get myself some pins. So pins on, and ever since I developed a sense of identity during that time. A lot of people didn't like it, not appropriate. A Star Trek tie or shirt and tie places, and some people are like, that's not appropriate. Why? It's a tie. Promotes what I think, what I feel, what I am. People have religious stuff on them. I can't have a tie. It has Star Trek emblems on it. What I think, what I assume during those days. I'm building up a backstory on this one here, guys. But I've been through a hell of a lot of death before. Relatives and animals. You get very close to animals. And death becomes a constant nature. Didn't make me gothic. It didn't make me craving death. No, I hated death. I hated going through the damn thing. I could never get a straight answer from a clergy or from a doctor. And my mother couldn't deal with me. I mean, we never talked about it. We never talked about what was going on with this damn skull, and I didn't even know how to talk to anybody about it. I never did. Well, except one particular therapist for a workers' comp stress case, and she wanted me out of the house. She wanted me out of the house. Well, I had to tell this therapist over here, but I didn't go out of the house. Over the past 30 plus years, I regretted not completing college, not going through community college, and not taking it seriously enough. I don't think my head was ever in the game for that time. I don't think it ever was. And that being said on that one here, I had to work with a lot of people struggling just to keep the rent going and to keep work going and cultural identity and everything else going on. Those were basket case, that's for damn sure. But how am I supposed to deal with these people if they can't deal with me? I blamed everything on them, not on me. I was mom's special angel. I was this, I was that. I didn't feel it, didn't think it, and didn't want to have anything a part of it, I guess. I clung on to Ma like crazy. I clung on to my big brother like crazy. I hate to use a Star Trek pun on this one. I was a Klingon. A Klingon warrior is a clinger. Oh, good Lord, it's mashing into Star Trek. Right there, do I do a Star Wars in there somewhere? No, when things got really emotional at this point over here, I'd isolate, shut down. Couldn't talk, couldn't feel. No. And I was pretty damn lonely. I couldn't keep friends very well. How did they ever dealt with me in the first place? They probably thought I was moody. I was moody. Did they ever talk about it? Did they ever talk about anything else like that? No. Avoided me like the plague. They can lie about the damn shit, but they avoided me like a plague. Because they didn't get any here and they didn't get any here. Wouldn't let them. I'm just David's brother. I'm just Marianne's son. He couldn't deal with me as a human being or an individual. Ooh. And in this kind of mental exercise that I'm doing right now, it's like part of me is looking for blame the outside world because I am so screwed up on the inside that I can't figure my shit out. The reason why I go to therapy, the reason why I do my videos, the reason why I keep doing many recordings on these damn things and on cell phones is to get everything else out of me. Like I blame the world for me being screwed up. I came out of my mother's womb a month early, which meant I could have been born with defects. And I did. Limbs. A heart that needed repair. And the job was dangerous. And I died. And I came back. Died 2 more times, came back. I had a father who didn't want to have a son. As soon as he found out Mom was pregnant, he disappeared. Never was in my life. Hangs up me after age of 5. And I had lifelong resentment against the asshole ever since. Little things add up. Little things add up. You don't get that high platform just by doing a bionic leap. Little things add up to stepping stones to it. To the point where you're at and you're feeling everything else doesn't give a shit anymore. I mean, you really don't give a shit anymore. And I kept thinking about that half the time. Especially when I kept losing people and I kept losing animals that I throwed my heart and soul into. Made that time joy. Or try to close to it anyway. But once they're gone, I shut down more and more. I look at the world. Maybe in a viewpoint I've been looking at the world angry and I'm the victim. No. No, I don't know what I am. The suicidal? Yeah. I had been in places where I wanted to kill myself. Working a job for a long time. I couldn't deal with home. I couldn't deal with work. I couldn't deal with life, period. Might as well go thermonuclear and yelling and screaming at people left and right and wanting to go into the street and kill myself. I was bland. Because I sure as hell wasn't going to be doing this thing that my brother prevented me from doing, which if I happen to say anything about this on YouTube, it'll really get my ass yanked. I need my therapy. I can tell my therapist about it. But let's just say if I chose one particular course of action, I would have been put into the obituary and never seen it since. Or I could have been in a police blotter. If at best I'd be put into a 5150 facility. Or maybe criminal. I wanted to kill myself. I was already killing myself a long time ago. I got so sick and tired of being sick and tired of everything. And I had to justify everything. I'm saying, screw it, I am going to do something stupid. I was prevented one way, so yell and scream like a damn banshee, maybe act like a complete fool and idiot, but I wanted to get the hell out of there. Grab my stuff, throw in boxes, dragged it outside, and wanted to leave it on the sidewalk for people to pilfer through like vultures they are. Go in the street and get killed by a car. Maybe two or three. Maybe get run over. So I wouldn't have to feel anything anymore. My brains would be scattered all over the street. My body would be crushed by cars. And I wouldn't care how Ma and Dave felt. It's a hell of a lot of anger, a hell of a lot of deep resentments on that. A hell of a lot. I resented Ma and Dave for trying to keep me stuck in AA meetings all the damn time. Trying to be brainwashed that there is a God looking out for me. I started to resent people like crazy in that place. I wanted to be just like David in the ways that I could understand his ass. What it was like to be in the military. What was it like to be a drug user. But I had a strong disgust over the damn drugs left and right. I had a strong disgust over drinking. Didn't want it. A mama's golden boy. I'm her special kid. How could it be that screwed up? When my brother was drinking and using right after he got out of the Navy, or actually, time he went AWOL, he tried to offer me a joint. I said no. He was stoned. He said, okay, I respect that. He didn't offer anything else. I tried a beer, tasted the stuff, and I spit the shit out. I couldn't stand this shit. I'm alcoholic like-minded. I got set up with all the damn traits ready to go except for the major thing. To have the stuff in my body that would make me totally addicted to the damn shit. I've seen all the effects. I was scared shitless at this point. I may be sober. I'm trying to stay the hell away from the alcohol. I could have called it a lifelong ambition, but I picked a date because that was a date I had to hit a bottom. I walked out with a hell of a lot of rage and frustration in a job, and wanted to kill myself. I wanted to kill myself in the worst way. Didn't want to face Ma, didn't want to face Dave, didn't want to face anybody. Hell, I didn't even want to face God. Just lead me to oblivion. Just kill me and get it done and over with. I already had too much shame, humiliation, and frustration and rage. I already had too much anger and anguish. I was trying to muster up the courage to do so because I was afraid of also getting hurt. I was one messed up dude, still am. I still am. But there was a thought going through the head saying, call your brother. A lifeline. A lifeline and a chain. Wait for him for about an hour till he comes. The van gets me out of there before the cops try to pull my ass in. Go home and try to tell Ma and Dave what's going on. I couldn't even tell my brother what the hell was going on. There was no way in hell I could face him. I was facing down all the time. I wanted to kill myself in the worst way. I didn't know how to converse with him. And he was frustrated. He kept trying and reach me. There's no way I could have. There was no way I was in a position to tell him about that. But I could talk to Ma about it, right? And then Dave. That night I identified in front of two guys what the hell was going on. And we talked until about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning at a Starbucks. I'm alcoholic like-minded. I got everything that an alcoholic would need to go off, except a desire to start drinking or using. But I'm alcoholic like-minded. I just substituted for alcohol. If I had drank, I don't remember it. And that's the truth. But I remember that I was clear-headed enough to say no. But if I had drank, I don't know. So I used that date for a beginning for my own little sobriety of sorts. While 12-step may use different ways of trying to celebrate their anniversaries of overcoming their adversary, whatever it is, that's the day I chose to deal with the power grid of myself. It may restore me to a level of sanity that I never knew of. And believe in something that's greater than me. A lot more. I had an ego I had an ego issue. Is there a 12-step program for ego? As far as I'm concerned, the 12-step programs go against the ego. Ego means edging God out. But it doesn't stop you from thinking or going through suicide. Or feeling like you're a piece of shit all the damn time. And I had to fucking work just to keep the family going. I happened to lose friends and family along the way, and it still hurts like a bastard. And I always kept it in, kept all that pain and anguish and crying and everything else in. It all had to be kept inside. I didn't know any other way of dealing with life on life's terms. Still don't. People see me isolated all the damn time, or not see me out there. I'm dealing with a dog that drives me crazy. As much as I'd like to go outside and walk around, I haven't done so in a hell of a long while. Except maybe to get the mail and get DoorDash, and that's about it. I hadn't walked in a hell of a long while, and I'm overdue for that. But as for dealing with the shit going on inside of me, it's a major thing right there. And the reason why I've taken steps within the last 10 years of going to therapy, off and on, off and on. It's not that easy talking about myself. It's taken me a long while to talk about myself over the past decade and a half. When Ma was starting to die, she passed away in 2013 of February. And well before she passed, it was suggested to me that it's because I was having problems at one particular job site, the last one I had, that I'd get my thoughts and feelings on a recorder. So I started. But I did that practice off and on throughout my life. Just wanted to losing the tapes, that's all. And I was familiar about using a tape recorder. I taped music, and I listened to music a great deal. Different television themes, movie themes. If I found it interesting, I could listen to it, hum it. I liked it. But talking about myself, getting intimate, who does this shit? Except somebody trying to grift off of people saying, listen to my story, but hand me some money. No. Fuck them. I'm doing it for my own survival. I'm doing it for my own mentality. I am doing it to save my ass. I'm doing it to get it off my damn chest. To talk about things that matter a great deal. I held back for a hell of a long while. I held back from my viewpoints, from talking to people about my viewpoints. I was afraid that people wouldn't understand it. They thought I would be weird. You know what? I am fucking weird. Deal with this shit. You don't like it? Fuck you. Ain't no horse you rode in on. I am who I am. I'm also an angry bastard. Call me weird. Fine, call me weird. My last name is Weaver. Starts with a W. So weird's fine with me. I'm crazy. Okay. My middle name is Cameron. Starts with a C. What else is new? I got mental health issues already. I got physical health issues already. What more can I deride you with? Or how much can you try to insult me with? You're a fool and you're an idiot. Yeah, I don't have any letters for that one in my alphabet. I already know I'm a fool and an idiot. I already know I'm a libtard. I suffer through a hell of a lot of mental anguish. I haven't gone through physical trauma enough, as in people constantly trying to kill themselves or trying to avoid getting killed in war zone situations. But no, I had my own mental health struggles going on in my lifetime. And I had thought of self-destruction. I had thought of killing myself because I didn't think anything would want me or anybody would want me. I'm already in a depressional state right now as it is, dealing with my own dog. Dealing with her mortality, which reminds me of my own. Something that then my brother did research and scared the shit out of himself and then scared the hell out of me for this damn shit. So now I have to keep thinking, fuck it. His own damn thing about seeing his own relatives dying at the age of 60. Actually, some of them actually didn't. Not roughly around the age, but, it secured enough fear in my brother that he died after the age of 60 through strokes. The hell, he's drinking a lot of sugar, smoking a lot of cigarettes. Doctors kept after him. He never did want to do that. He went out on his own. So I wanted to beat the shit out of him on that one. He was a caregiver the last few years of his life. Hardest damn job I could ever do is be a caregiver to my family members. And it still leaves me depressed as hell. I'm a shit. Learned about it from my grandma, taking care of my aunt as a kid. Then grandma when she stroked out as a teenager. And mama in her later life as me as an adult being the breadwinner in the family. Then Dave. My dog. Yeah, it puts a hell of a lot of stress and strain. And over the past 10 years, I had been going to a therapist, or a few therapists. One I've been with about a couple of years already. We got a good rapport. And we talk about stuff. The thing is, when I talk to her, I feel fine. I feel like I got happy, and then afterwards I get depressed as hell. Because talking about my shit depresses the hell out of me, but I have to get this stuff out. Any event that I happen to lose memory, any event that I happen to lose anything that's going to make me feel as I am a functional human being, mentally and physically, I need backup. I need to understand where I came from, what brought me to this point, where were the breadcrumbs led to this event. My videos, my recordings are breadcrumbs. Memories. Decisions made. Decisions not made. Actions. Emotions. Anything and everything. I can try putting it on recording. That I'm comfortable with. If I'm not comfortable with it, put it on there anyway. Why? Because this is me, damn it. This is me. You don't like it? Fuck off. I'm not trying to save anybody else. I'm trying to save me. Makes me a selfish, self-conscious, self-centered, egotistical bastard. I'll accept it. But if it also helps out somebody else to realize that about themselves, Oh my God, I actually did something good with my life. Ooh, now I'm really in trouble. But I had to get this open. I had to talk about this thing because you have to understand mental health. You have to understand, yes, there's a lot of doctors out there that can help you out with therapy, but they also have drugs out there. And I don't do the fucking drugs because I am not a damn pincushion, nor am I a fucking lab rat. I'm me. I stayed the hell from the medical professionals as much as I could because they're trying to kill me. In my own sick thinking, in order to help me, they gotta make me feel even worse. Find the right chemical to screw up your brain cells. They did that once, trying to do acne. And what happened? I damn near killed myself. I felt so damn depressed because I had the Accutane drug going through me that I wanted to kill myself on a constant basis. Of course, I didn't do the actions. No, I came damn close to it anyway. And I've seen how drugs interact with people left and right. Keep them off of it for a while. The reaction and the withdrawal symptoms are a pain in the ass. I've seen that happen to my brother and my mother. No. But I also seen it how it was in me sometimes. And I had to recognize that. No fucking way. Here's the thing. When I got injured on a job and I had pain more than what I could deal with, I had to get non-addictive, theoretical, non-addictive pain medication strong enough to almost to where it became addictive. Tramadol and Motrin. Motrin in itself doesn't do much. Tramadol is a nerve blocking agent. But both of them turned me into a zombie. Oh, I could do the job. I couldn't feel a damn thing because my nerves were already dead. But I could feel what I need to feel and take care of things and not be affected that much saying, I need my drug, I need my drug, I need my drug. No, because I was depending upon the drug to keep the physical pain out. But if there was any psychological effects, I was fucked on that one. Royally. Royally fucked on that one. So what else was there? I also took a hit of Vicodin because I ran out of my drug at one time. And this drug was through workers' comp, by the way. I didn't want to be addicted to the damn shit, but I still needed it. Hence the addiction. When it gets to the point where you want it, now you're there. I took a hit off my brother's meds. Gave me a little bit of a quarter tab of Vicodin. About 3 days, I didn't want to leave the damn bed. You talk about being spaced out, not knowing where the hell you are, and sensory deprivation. I couldn't deal with that shit. And there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to deal with anybody's medications at all. Forget it. I know what I can take, I know what I can't take, and what I can tolerate and what I won't do. Fuck that shit. Ketamine, back to the original point, is a drug that will fuck you up, in my personal opinion. Because I've already been seeing the behavioral acting up like crazy on this one, in the form of Elon Musk. I don't know what the hell he was talking about, but to a common layman, they will know what the fuck he was talking about. Unless you read these abstract notes left and right that doesn't make sense to the common layman, but only to the academia. See, the abstracts they have online, if you're going through academia, you can understand a language a little bit at a time. But after that, you have to find context, perspective. And it's hard for a common layman to understand that shit. But saying Elon Musk is fucked up on drugs, I can deal with that one. Alright, my usual ending line is saying, that being said, guys, I had to get this shit off my chest. I had to talk about this, and I had to put it out. I'm not apologizing for a damn word of it. I'm not apologizing for the language or for the information out there. You want to talk to me? There's my fucking door. I got a broken doorbell, but you can pound in the damn door to get my attention. And that goes for law enforcement in case they want to do a health and welfare checkup on me. I'd welcome it. They can see what kind of a colorful place I live in, especially when the bugs are still out. I also take care of a dog. She's sleeping. But in a few minutes, once she knows my son's not there, she'll be waking and screaming for my head. Johnny, where you at? And she'll whine and whimper and high scream whine there. She doesn't like to be left alone. I know how she feels. That's why it's 24/7. That's why I'm 24/7. Anyway, that being said,